Hey Stella. So today's video is going to be on a topic that I get asked about a lot on Instagram, which is how I keep my cage clean and specifically how I set up my litter boxes. So looking here, you might not realize it right away, but I actually have 4 hidden litter boxes in this cage, and I'm gonna take you through why I set it up like that and the benefits of having a covered litter box specifically, as opposed to just a litter box that's out in the open. So I'm gonna take you through that right now. All right, so we're gonna be visiting this litter box up here right now. Sorry guys, I'm invading your privacy a little bit. So just starting with the basics, a lot of you might ask, do guinea pigs use litter boxes? Can they use litter boxes? And the answer is yes, kind of. It's never gonna be as perfect as like a cat or even my rabbits. I have 2 rabbits that live downstairs. They free roam downstairs, and their litter box skills are fantastic. They very, very rarely will pee or poop outside of the litter boxes, maybe once in a blue moon. But the guinea pigs, you're always going to have some poop scattered. So like here, you'll see that there's poops. You're gonna mostly see them in their hideys, for mine anyway, in their hideys and right outside of the litter boxes that they have. But for the most part, so I'll show you kind of a scan of the cage. So this is what the cage looks like. I probably did a spot clean maybe like 5-6 hours ago. So this is what it looks like right now. So I'm gonna take you through like how I make my litter box setup and why I do the things that I do in those specific ways to encourage litter success. All right, Katie, I'm so sorry, but we're gonna have to kick you out. Is that okay? I know it's not okay, but let's see if you move. I don't know. I'm just gonna move this and open this right now so you can see the full kind of setup here. All right, so this door flips open. And if you're new here, I built this cage myself, and I made the vast majority of the things in here. I made all the liners, I make the tunnels, the bed coverings, the little cozy down here, art on the walls, most of it. Made these little fish plaques here. Hey. But anyway, getting back to the litter boxes. So the litter box setup is the main litter box. It's a garage shelf storage bin. You can find them sometimes at hardware stores or like those utility websites like that sell, you know, like commercial plastics. I actually got a 6-pack on Amazon. I haven't really found them sold single. I think I found one website that sells them individually, and most of the places that I've seen sell them in a 6-pack or in some kind of like multi-pack. But this one came in a pack of 6, and I got that on Amazon for, I think it was like 70 or 80 bucks for the 6-pack. So I have 4 in this cage, and I used an extra one out in the play area, and I ended up using another one when I was fostering some rescue pigs. So that worked out for me. If I can find the link, I will try and share that in the description for the single bin. But these work really, really great. Aside from this one that has a side entrance, what I really like is that it has a low entrance for most of them. So for most of my litter boxes, they get in through this low entrance here. And it has the nice high sides, but yeah, so I don't use a traditional litter box. And these are, I believe, 11 by 23, 11 inches wide, 23 inches long, which is really great for fitting them into like a 2x1 grid setup. So I'm gonna take these out right now. Or first, I'm just gonna show you what it is. So I have 2 storage boxes, plastic storage boxes stacked on top of each other. And then right here as a little pad on their perch that I've made is just it's like a mop pad that I got from the dollar store. Dollar Tree sells them. So I have a bunch of these, and I just attached Velcro to the scratchy Velcro to the bottom of this. And this already comes with kind of like that felty fabric. So it stays on nice and secure, and they cannot move it at all. So let me just take this out so I can show you how it's done. All right, so I'm gonna take this apart right now. And here is, as I mentioned, the garage storage bin. And I fill that with pine pellets. They're kiln dried pressed pine pellets. I get them from my local Tractor Supply. They, many different brands make them. You can get them at the pet store, but I find them much cheaper at the Tractor Supply. They sell them for $7 for a 40-pound bag. So it's super, super cheap. They're also amazing at odor control. Like if you walk into this room, I don't think you would ever know that guinea pigs live in here. So, and multiple people have told me that. I'm just gonna believe them. But yeah, it just really does a great job at controlling the odor. I'll show you these pellets right now. And I'm gonna grab my little litter rake so you can also see that they poop here very frequently. And I also have their water bottles set up here too. I usually have 2 water bottles, but I'm washing the others right now. I like to have 2 water bottles in there in case there's more than one, so they don't fight if there's more than one guinea pig in there. All right, so the next component of it is this right here. I'm just gonna take this whole thing out. And as you can see, it's just these 2 storage bins. They're like the shoebox size, and they are just taped together in the back right here. And then I have tape joining the 2 edges of it. And then, as I said, I put the Velcro and the mop pad on top so they could have a nice little perch to sit on. And they spend quite a lot of time here, and that is the point. So the reason why we want to do a covered litter box is because you want them to feel really secure and safe and hidden when they're doing their business, which is what their wild ancestors would tend to do, I guess. So, and because their food and their water is here, by default, they're just going to spend more time here, and they're going to spend more time eating, drinking, so they're going to spend more time here peeing and pooping. Makes sense. It's just a numbers game, basically. I don't know if a guinea pig could really be trained to be 100% potty trained. I have not, seen evidence of that, but I mean, I would say that they have like a 90 to 95% success rate, especially with pee. They very rarely pee outside of the litter boxes. There's like some pee pads right outside the litter boxes, and maybe sometimes in their hideys. And you're always going to have some poop scattered throughout, but it's really not much, and it's not really centered. It's not really concentrated in the middle of the cage. It's usually near the litter boxes, so makes it really easy to clean up. So after I fill it up with lots of hay, this is kind of low now because it's the end of the day. But what I do when I do fill it is I do something that shows kind of like another advantage of this system, and it's that it keeps the hay contained as well. So because I have that compartment underneath here, I like to put the hay in and pack it really tight up against this, and they'll start eating, but they can still, burrow back here. It's high enough and deep enough for them to burrow, and it's still plenty enough for them to eat as well. But because it has this blocking it, and it has the sides, and it has the swing door, it really keeps the hay mess outside of the, it keeps the hay mess contained in the litter boxes, as well as the poop and the pee. So overall, the cage just looks a lot cleaner and nicer. It's not totally necessary. It's not super important for the guinea pigs. They don't care whether or not there's hay all over their cage. but I do, and I found a way that that allows me to do that without sacrificing their the amount of hay that they get or their ability to forage and burrow. So that's just what I do. And as you can see here, there's lots of poops right outside the entrance of the litter boxes here, which is pretty normal. And I see that over here as well, right there. This one does not get as much of that overflow, and I think a lot of it is just from them jumping in and out of the litter box. And this one has the high sides on this side, so maybe that has something to do with it. I think they might be tracking some poops from the litter box out into the outside, and of course they'll also be just laying here and just pooping as well. But really, that's usually what the cage looks like for most of the day on a daily basis. So not bad, pretty easy to clean, and just like easier to take care of. And I hope this like helps people who might find the whole cleaning thing overwhelming. Just adding a covered litter box, especially with like the fleece forests on the outside, will really help to cut down on the mess, even if your guinea pigs aren't specifically potty trained or litter trained. And I use that term very loosely, as I said before. So the way that I trained them is when I got them when they were little, I would take the poops that were made outside the litter box and just put them back in. I would basically just like watch them like a hawk for a week. And I was just kind of glued to the cage, and anytime they pooped outside the litter box, I would scoop it up and put it back in the litter box. And if they peed outside of it, I would clean it up right away, douse it in my vinegar water solution, and then dry it up. Before I did that, I would soak it up with like a paper towel or something and throw it into the litter box so it would have the scent of the pee, and they would start recognizing that, okay, this is where I need to go, or I can go to the bathroom. But like I said, it's not perfect, but it helps a lot to have the covered litter boxes instead of just like the open air litter boxes, which I've seen, and I'm sure that they contain some of the mess really well too, but I feel like just having them covered and basically turning their litter box into their favorite hidey just cuts down a lot more on the mess, because they like to be in here. And of course they spend time in the rest of the cage as well. It's not like they're hiding in here all day. But yeah, so that's basically how I keep this looking like that, and their play area stays pretty nice too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I don't know if I explained everything really well. I'll probably go into more detail with another like kind of more structured tutorial video in the future, and maybe like a cage building series. Let me know if you're interested in seeing something like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll just end this with some footage of the guinea pigs playing around in their cage. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.